Thursday, April the 30th. So we received 2.5 inches of rain last night, and obviously the bunkers have washed. A lot of people ask, you know, the bunker's got no sand in it. We need to add sand into the bunkers. That's not really the problem with most of the bunkers out on this golf course. The biggest issue we have is the washouts and this right here. So when these bunkers were put in or renovated a few years ago, I don't know why, but there was no liner put in on the faces. What I mean by liner is, in the bottom of these bunkers, there is a half inch layer that's put in there, just like underneath kind of like a carpet, and that helps the water to drain through and also stops contamination. So when you hit the ball in the sand, you're not hitting that clay, but the faces were never done, and this is the result. So what is happening is the water is running off these faces, it's running down, and this right here is a nightmare. It's running into all this clay, so all this clay is getting washed down into the sand, and then we have contamination, and then we have this. This right here is a nightmare for bunker situation. So sand, you know, you take a bucket of sand, you put water in there, water drains through. Why does that happen? Well, there's pore space in sand. So sand particles sit together, you have pore space, i.e. air space, and water can run down through it. Clay, the particles are a lot tighter together, and water is slower to drain through there because you have less pore space. So what has happened is this contamination. This is terrible. This is basically silt, clay, mud that's washed off the faces all these years because there was never a liner put in them, and the contamination, water cannot move through here. So what happens, we get an inch of rain, we get half an inch of rain, we get 2.5 inches of rain, and water can't go anywhere. Adding sand to this is pointless. We're just going to end up in the same situation. The only thing we can do is a bunker renovation. Now, there's a lot of options nowadays for bunkers. You know, the better billy bunker system, which is put in gravel, all in underneath the bunker. There's a special polymer that's put in the bunker, very expensive. Capillary concrete is an idea. It's actually a concrete that's put in the bunkers. Again, will stop contamination, and the water actually drains through that concrete. It's a pretty cool process, but extremely expensive. And then the cheapest option is remove all the sand. The sand is no good to be in bunkers. Is get it out, refix the drains, check the liners in the bottom of the bunkers, and fix the issue on the faces, which is add liners into the faces. You know, that would have to be priced out of a cost and get our worst bunkers as we go around, but that could be an in-house project in the wintertime. Otherwise, we're going to end up with this situation constantly every time we get a rain. Luckily, we don't have that many bunkers compared to a lot of golf courses. Last 2 golf courses I worked at, we had over 100 bunkers on each course, so I don't see this as a terribly big project as far as getting them done, but it needs to be done. Otherwise, we're just going to end up in this situation. And washing off the faces like this is going to be about 40 man hours tomorrow to repair them. We keep doing that every single time they wash. 40 man hours, that adds up. Doing a renovation is definitely ends up being cost-wise the best solution, where every time we do get a rain, we don't end up with this unplayable bunkers and washouts every time.